Hi friends, thank you for tuning into my YouTube channel. This is Infinite Vibes here to help you raise your awareness. Today we're going to talk about material living versus the quantum living. Okay, now let's break this down real quick to two things. First, we're going to start with the material lifestyle. Okay, now this is pretty simple. Most people are in this program. It's one that we're basically born into, and we tend to get stuck in. Material living is very finite. Okay, it's very limited, and it's very fixed. Okay, it's a certain type of way of thinking. It's very fixed. It's thinking that there's only a certain amount of solutions available, and that there's a fixed lens associated with aspects of things being predictable, probable, possible, and predictable. So it's a program fixed with predictable, probable, and possible results. Okay, so that is currently the system that we are in. Okay, now for those of you who watch my right brain versus left brain video, if you haven't watched it yet, definitely go check that out on my YouTube channel. But this material living versus quantum living deals a lot with all of this stuff. Okay, now in a fixed, predictable, probable, and possible program, um, we're very much used to things such as formulas, right? Now, a basic formula is school, work, retirement, right? This is the basic formula. There's other formulas, but we're just going to use this one, right? Because it's the most basic aspect of, the system, the program that we're currently in, right? Now, the formula is very simple, and it's due, right? It makes a lot of sense, right? But people with the materialistic way of living tend to, reason and pay attention to logic and to natural law and nature, and they have a drive for certainty, right? So all of this simply leads to aspects of certainty. And certainty overall is a safety cushion. There is no risk. If there is no risk, that means it is fixed. If that makes sense, right? So most people subscribe to the materialistic lifestyle because it has a drive for certainty. It's the ultimate goal. It's, you go to work and you get a job, you're going to get paid. You go to school and you learn something, you know that you're going to get something in that field because you studied it, right? And then because you've worked all those years that you're going to get some money and then you're going to retire, right? So there's no risk involved. It's very much a safety cushion. It's very logic based, right? So, this is very logic. This is very masculine. Very logic. There's a sense of value rooted in materialism. All right. Now, the only reason why you're going to school to get a job is because you want to buy stuff. You want to buy a nice house or buy a nice car and all that type of stuff. And the program sells you on that. Sells you on items, right? Let's just say that. You want to travel the world. You want to go check out different locations. You want to meet people. You want to do things, right? The program sells you on all these things. It sells you on getting the nice house and the nice car, and all that type of stuff, right? So you work. The reason why you do anything is to gain aspects of materialism, okay? And so when you're living a material lifestyle, the only thing that you might find interested, right, and the most common thing that most people talk about is money, right? And we know that money, as it's been said many times, is the root of all evil. Now, I'm not here to make a video and tell you that money is evil, because I actually quite disagree with that quote. It depends on how you use the money, but I'm not going to get too deep into that. So, in aspects of material living, right, you have a finite way of thinking. You have a formula that is given to you by the system, and you know that for a fact that this system, this thing, is a safety cushion, and it works. There's no risk, and there's no, there's no aspect of failing, right? And the society we live in today, right, the world, especially in the United States, is fixed. This is an extremely fixed system we live in. And it's not fixed for the one percenters or the elitists, all right? It's fixed for the lower class people. Because in the system that we have in place, it's pretty much anybody can get a job doing anything. That's quite literally the system we live in. It's meant for you not to fail, all right? But because we assume that this is the fixed system, right? We assume that this is the way. Let me change that. We assume that this is the way, right? And then if you don't fall into that formula of the way, you automatically assume that you're on the negative side of the way to succeed or to do things. Okay? Now, people might do other things such as, dealing with drugs or whatever the case may be in order to get the sense of materialism. Because all of this, the only reason why you do any of this, the whole reason why is because of this. If you didn't have to make money to get the car you want, to get the job you want, to go visit the places that you want, would you still be working? And let me answer that for you. The answer is probably no. All right? This is a very logical system. It's very masculine, and its source of value is rooted in materialism. It's extremely finite and extremely limited. The reason being is because at the end of the day, the result that you wish to acquire is materialism. And because the result is materialism, when you do not acquire materialism, you feel as though you have failed. Okay? So we live in a society today where people measure your success based on what it is you look like and what it is that you do or what it is that you are. But I'm going to tell you this right now. This is what success is. Success is the constant stride towards a worthy ideal. Okay? As long as you're consistently working your way towards a worthy ideal, striding, playing, whatever the case may be, making your way towards a worthy ideal, you could want to be a school teacher. You could want to be, a business person, whatever your definition of success is, right? As long as you continue to push your way towards that, that is a worthy ideal, okay? Now, whether or not you obtain success, that comes down ultimately to you, okay? And I'll give you an example of this. There's an author, I think his name is George Orwell. He wrote a few books back in the early 1900s or late 1900s. I'm not quite too sure. when exactly the time period was. But he wrote a book, and during his time while he was alive, he never the book never sold and never got successful. It wasn't really, doing numbers, and he, pretty much died without, making too much money, and he personally felt like he was a failure. Now, years later, that book is a success. Unfortunately, he was not around to realize that success. And the reason why he was not around to realize that success was because his fate was rooted in materialism. His life was materialistic. He was living the materialistic lifestyle. And because he was living a materialistic lifestyle, his success was rooted with this. And because he never got the money or, the materials that he wanted or so thought that he deserved, he felt like he was a failure. Okay? Now, you guys don't want to end up like that. Because, yes, success is the constant stride towards a worthy ideal. And, your success might not even come in this lifetime. It might come in the next lifetime, or it could come in this lifetime as long as you keep working towards that worthy ideal. Okay? And it doesn't matter the road bumps and who tells you no and who tells you that it's not possible, who doesn't believe in your vision or who thinks that you're lying or whatever the case may be. As long as you believe in you, you can get out of this. Okay? Now, there's a certain type of lifestyle and a certain type of mind state that isn't fixed and isn't finite. And that is called the quantum lifestyle. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this board. Grab a moment. You guys can enjoy the beautiful view of my backyard with the kind of messed up beach beach seat right there, and of course the flowers in the gardens. There's so much to see. Now, I'm erasing this. Now let's get into it. Okay, this is the fun part. How do you go from materialistic to quantum living? Well, first, let's look at the quantum lifestyle. What is the difference between the quantum lifestyle and the materialistic lifestyle? The answer is very simple. The ideas. All right? Now, earlier we saw what success was, right? Success is the stride towards a worthy ideal, right? Now, what is this worthy ideal? Obviously, it's an idea, right? Ideal, idea, right? And your ideas, right? Your ideas, not the ideas. Let me change that to your ideas. Your ideas are not in the program. It's quite simple, isn't it? Your ideas are not in the program. This means there's infinite possibilities and ways for you to achieve success. Right? Now, this is an essence of being able to take your ideas, your thoughts, and realizing that you can create an entire reality by tapping into the quantum field. All right? So your ideas come from the quantum field. And what is the quantum field? Okay? The quantum field is where all potential is stored. is stored. Okay. So, your ideas come from the quantum field where all potential is stored, meaning there are infinite possibilities to achieve your success. Meaning that while the other system dealt with a finite way of thinking and a finite way of doing things, in the quantum field or the quantum lifestyle, right? We basically do things where we are able to create non-locally, not just through physical action. All right, so we create non-locally, not just through physical action. All right, now what does this mean? This means our minds are creators. And our minds, to go deeper into that, connect to our intelligence. See, intelligence is different from intellect because intellect is calculated, it's logic based. You can be a total idiot and still have intelligence. All right? Now, intelligence can only expand through the heart. So, you have the mind and the heart right there connecting through intelligence. All right? Now, this pretty much is fundamental creativity. This equals fundamental creativity. All right? Meaning, you can create anything and pull it from the quantum field into your reality with just a thought as a creator. Okay? Now, this is a bit different because this is a drive for, or towards, should I say, towards well-being. Because see, when you're thinking from your heart, right, what's going to happen is you're going to be aiming for the well-being of others. You're not thinking from the finite materialistic way of the world where I have to get mine. I'm doing this because I want to help people, and by helping people it's going to help me get paid. That's not what it is about. Okay? This is about utilizing your intelligence, which is an inner knowing. Okay? Knowing, looking around you and looking at the world and knowing, hey, there's something missing here, and I'm here to add a piece of the puzzle to that. I'm here to bring something into the program that hasn't been here before. All right? Now, the program we live in is very interesting because it has a set of systems, right? And actually, I'm not even going to say traps, but in a way that there are other entities or beings within the program that have set up traps because they don't want you to be able to influence the program. Now, the reason why we have all these billionaires is because they've been able to do just that. They're not thinking in a finite way. All right? They're not necessarily thinking about the money. They're not thinking in a limited mindset, in a calculated, formulated mindset. All right? The type of mindset that they're thinking in is through the quantum field. All right? Now, how do you circumnavigate through the program? It's quite very easy. You have to circumnavigate it by embracing change. You have to embrace it. You can go through it by embracing uncertainty and potential. And notice how all of this, right, equals to risk. And because you're taking risk, you're not playing it safe. And when you don't play it safe, you're able to hack into that quantum field and bring in something new. Okay? Now, the main drive behind all of this is fundamental creativity. All right? Now, fundamental creativity is basically you tapping into the quantum field with your mind and your ideas and having an inner knowing that all of this, everything that you want, right, is going to definitely work out. As long as you embrace the change that comes with it, the certainty and the potential. As long as you embrace the risk, which is what most people aren't willing to do. Many people want to play it safe. All right? So, stepping into the quantum lifestyle is taking a risk. Are you willing to risk everything that you've ever worked for an idea, right? That everybody probably thinks you're crazy because they're stuck in their materialistic way of thinking. Are you willing to change your entire life, to step into a new world, to bring about the type of stuff that you want to see in this realm of existence? Or are you going to fall into the materialistic way of living and be programmed with the rest of the program? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the quantum lifestyle. And this is just the beginning. If you guys are interested in finding out more information about the quantum lifestyle, feel free to book a session with me, or you can join my Patreon. The link is in my bio, and I would love to connect with you all. Have an abundant day, and I'm sending infinite vibes your way. Peace.